Welcome to Monerica. This is your host, Riot. This is the Voices of the Monero Economy. Monerica.com, Monerica.com, is a directory for a Monero circular economy. Just one second here. Okay. So what this means is that it's a place to buy and sell goods and services using Monero cryptocurrency. The reason for using Monero is that it can be used privately and the transaction fees are low, making it one of the best forms of digital cash that exists today. Live your life using Monero. Visit monerica.com. And you can submit your link or revise an existing one at monerica.com/submit. Okay, here we go.
All right, great. Thanks for having me on. I'm super excited.
Oh, awesome. So, yes, today we're bringing on our number one advertiser, Anon Shop. And this is a place where you can buy items on Amazon using Monero, and the website is anonshop.app. That's ANONSHOP.app. And so, hello. I believe we met in Mexico City at Monerotopia last year. Is that right?
Yes, and I got one of your great patches.
Awesome. You're one of the few in the club. So, I'd like to begin with some questions of my own, and if anyone wants to ask their own, they're welcome to request speakership. Thank you all for joining. So, for those who have never heard of your site, can you please briefly describe what Anon Shop is and what it helps people do?
Well, we got started about a year ago, and it all started off with a Reddit post where I was like, what if people could just deliver things to an Amazon locker? Since they don't require ID or anything, just walk up, type in a 6-pin code. And then the community on Monero, or r/Monero was like, yeah, we would use it. Then I built it, and then people started using it. And then so that's one of my favorite services that we use. We also offer like a concierge service that lets you order from any website to any address also. So those are our basic two services we offer.
Great. And so you have a tutorial on YouTube on how to use your service, but can you briefly
Mm-hmm.
describe the process?
Oh yeah, well, I would say a lot of people have described it as the easiest shopping experience they've ever had, right? Because I think that's one benefit of privacy that people underestimate. But the website is really simple. You go to the website and anonshop.app. You plug in fill your cart with things you want from Amazon, and you pay with an arrow. And then that's it. I receive your order, and then I have a built-in chat. So you'll get dropped into a chat. You can ask me questions. I can tell you like, oh, item isn't available. I'll give you ETAs for your order. And then depending on the delivery method, if you chose the locker method, once it gets delivered to the locker, I simply send you the pin, and then you pick the item up. That's pretty much it. If you chose address delivery, I give you tracking. Obviously, that gets delivered to your whatever address you chose, whether that be your home address or a PO box.
Great. And so Amazon is really good at shipping products quickly. How much additional time does it add to an order to order through your service?
I say I tell people I do it every 24 hours, but usually I get it like same day of that evening. So like we say, of course you place an order at midnight and I'm asleep, right? I'll probably get it in the morning, but probably not that much more. I probably get there the same day, depending on when you not same day, but no more than a day, but optimally the same time period, right? Because Amazon has its cutoff shipping times. So if you give it to me in the morning, I process it by noon. It's still going to be within that shipping time, so it's going to be about the same.
And so what are the fees for this service?
Oh yeah, it depends. Our locker fee starts off at 10% of the subtotal, so that doesn't include taxes or anything like that. So if you buy something for $100 at Amazon, I would charge you $10 for that service, and then the address delivery starts off at 15%. And I purposely chose to price the address delivery cheaper because that's my most convenient option and my favorite option that we offer. So I make it a little cheaper than the address delivery.
And so all crypto is volatile against the US dollar, as we know.
Mm-hmm.
And everything on Amazon.com is priced in US dollars. So my question is how much does Monero's price volatility impact your business?
It wasn't a big issue until recently. I'm sure everyone's in know. I guess like was it like 2 weeks ago when the Binance stuff happened, and Monero went from like 150. I could have sworn for the longest Monero sat around like 150 for like felt like 8 months. So before it wasn't a big issue. And then, but when it goes down, it can be an issue. But I just eat that cost because I guess you lose when it goes down, you gain when it goes up. So it's a probably evens out at the end of the day.
So with regards to that, like, are you um kind of holding, or is that are you pretty fluid with the funds you get? Like, it sounds like just it kind of all equals out over time.
Yeah, so I hold up to a certain amount, and then I just when it gets to the point where I need cash to complete orders, I sell transfer into exchanges then. So I try to hold as much as I can until I have no choice. So if I get a bunch of small orders, right, I can go a whole month without cashing out. But if someone comes through and orders like a $6,000 TV, I sort of like, oh well, that's sort of empty the funds there, so I have to go cash out. Unfortunately, then.
And so when you say cash out, or you said you're are you what does that look like for you?
Oh yeah, I am a U.S. based entity, so I pay tax in the U.S., register and everything. So I just use Kraken to cash out my things, but I prefer when a website accepts cryptocurrency. It makes it a lot easier. But unfortunately, that's not what Amazon is at. So I have to use Kraken right now to keep cash flow, keep the cash flowing.
Okay. So how has obviously you're advertiser and greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Hmm.
How has Monerica impacted your business in terms of exposure and customers?
Well, I guess I probably shouldn't give this information away for competitors, but since you offer such a great service, I would say
You don't
Monerica,
have to. You
like
don't.
if
Sorry, you
you
don't have to say anything you don't want to. I'm just trying to
no, no,
understand.
no.
Yeah.
I know. I'm definitely gonna gas you up, man. You run a great service. Like I'm gonna say, dude, if you're in the Monerica space and you're in the Monero space and you're not advertising on Monerica, I really question your commitment to the space because as someone, it's so hard advertising to privacy conscious people, right? Because most companies just go to Facebook, go to Google, buy some advertisement, and you're good to go. But with Monero and privacy focused people, that's sort of goes against the whole idea of Monero. So something like Monerica, man, like it's amazing. I think when I first tried it out, like I think it was around like January, I saw like, I mean, shoot, maybe it probably doubled my top line revenue, which is amazing, correct? I think Monero, like you have people going who have Monero, who are serious about Monero and want to spin Monero. So being able to be the first listing on that website is just like it's a no brainer, honestly. It's a really great service, especially as a
Awesome.
person on the service. I question why other people are. I think it's I think it's a really underpriced right now. I think people are going to catch on to the meta very soon.
Yeah. I noticed when I started to have it to where it's available and someone's going to jump on it, and I noticed like multiple people within just a handful of seconds, and then I'm like, oh wow, and then
Yeah.
I had to add a way for now, then it's like a reservation kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and because I don't want to oversaturate it to where it's just like 100 ads, but I want it to be valuable and impactful, and I'm hoping to expand the value of the ads even more
Yeah.
by
No.
having a
Yeah.
newsletter where that's another thing we can potentially get into. But so yeah, so what challenges are you facing right now growing your business, and how can the Monero circular economy help you with that?
I would say the Monero. I would say the biggest issue right now is advertising, which obviously you help a bunch with Monero servers. The reviews you've done. I've watched a recent review you did. Was it Spend It Finance? If I'm not mistaken. Where their
Yes.
debit card was it? Yeah, so that was great. So I just think that I've been in this space for like over a year, and there are still people today who are like, I didn't know you existed. I'm like, I'm posting to Reddit, every 2 weeks. I'm on Twitter. I have like 2,000 followers on Twitter. There's still people to this day. They're like, I had no idea you existed. So I'm just like, man, getting the news to people, especially given how people in Monero are very, pro privacy, which means they're not going to be excited to share their information, sign up for an email list, which is really hard to do. It's just really hard to get information. So I really support and appreciate as a business the stuff you're doing with email lists, the constant output. Like, man, you went from like idea to actually having a mailing list out in what 3 days, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I believe the guy Jordan on this call, he recommended it, and when there's no there's no bureaucracy. It's just your own brain. Like,
Yeah.
what do you who do you have to argue with? And I'm a programmer myself, so it's like it's like, oh well. I mean, I haven't sent out any letters yet. I want to
Mm-hmm.
build the list and make it worth it. So there's more people, but you got to start with what you can do, right? Instead of trying to
Yeah.
build a grand cathedral before people can enter the basement first or whatever kind of thing. Like, so just
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
getting the emails is step one. Writing the letter once there's a thing is like a secondary concern, but time's ticking, and there's no reason to just delay that forever because it's just going to take time. So yeah, so that's a
Yeah.
bigger objective. So I guess then, how integrated are you in the Monero circular economy? For example, there are web hosting. There's web hosting you can buy with Monero. Like, is that something you do or would consider doing?
Oh yeah, I looked into pricing it out, but given that we use serverless functions, so it's not as simple as like getting a VPS. I would have to set all that stuff up. So if someone were able to, offer a VPS that did serverless functions really well to let me scale, I would definitely use it. But everyone I've looked in, like server gurus, it's like pretty much are like I guess VPS resellers, which is great if you need a VPS. But for my scale and stuff I do, my traffic is highly variable. So I need something that can scale with me. So fortunately, I haven't found anyone that offers serverless functions and accepts Monero. So right now we're just using like a random serverless function host. I think which runs on AWS, which is not optimal, but I think at this point it's very functional. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I've used serverless functions on AWS myself. Is that something that other companies can offer, or is that exclusive to Amazon?
I think other companies can offer it, but I don't think they can be competitive on price as Amazon. But I know other companies like DigitalOcean offers it, but they're generally like my understanding of it is that they have a scale at which they can operate it. Where they can give you really, really cheap prices. And I tried pricing it out if I ran my own VPS. Even the software alone, I saw a quote for the open software that was like $1,000 to run it. I was like, that's I'm running maybe like $10 a month, and it was just not. Unfortunately, given the how scalability and pricing works, I don't think any small person can really break into that market yet. In my understanding of it, at least.
Right. So if you wanted to use Monero to pay for that, you
Hmm.
just end up buying an Amazon gift card, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it, is
So
it,
that
can you
was
actually pay for the their services that way?
probably. I haven't tried, but you could probably use. I know Cake Wallet, Spin and Finance has a bunch of stuff. You could probably use that. I'll probably look into doing that. It's been so little money. I'm just like throw it on a credit. It's like literally like $5-10 a month, which is crazy.
Right. No, Amazon has great, just they're a great company. So I guess with regards to Amazon, what do you like the most, and what do you like the least about Amazon?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think I think Amazon. Well, I'm gonna start back. I think a lot of big tech companies get a lot of undeserved flack for their privacy policies, and I don't deeply believe that Amazon. I think Amazon cares about profit, and if that profit was able to align with privacy, I think they would optimize it for it a lot more. But I mean, having the infrastructure to ship things to Amazon lockers across the country is like amazing. I think some European countries have other competitors. I think like other postal services that do it, but in the U.S., like they're the only guy in town for shipping. So I mean, like they just have great customer service. I haven't had an order go. I haven't had anyone receive a wrong order yet. But I don't use third party people. I just use Amazon, like ship from Amazon. So I mean, right, and I think they could be a lot more privacy preserving. I think that's more of a fiat crypto issue, but as far as customer service, I think they take really good care of their customers, at least in my experience, and really support them. So I really enjoy that. Negative, I gotta say the privacy aspect. At this point, I have like aged accounts that I use, so I don't really have an issue with like making an order get through. But I know people who like open up a new account, throw a gift card, and it can get shut down for privacy, like fraud issues. But I don't experience that because I age my accounts that I use. But yeah, that's a pretty big question though. Really good question though. Thank you for asking.
So I'm confused about why owning Amazon gift card would cause any kind of fraud concerns. I mean, isn't what that seems like the top tier of trust that they could possibly offer you is buying their own card.
Oh yeah, well, my understanding is that a lot of scammers use the Amazon gift cards to, like, you'll get like your grandma will get like a scam, right? Get like a phishing scam. They'll tell her to go down to the store and buy a gift card, and then they'll load that onto an account. So that can be so that's a very high like fraud issue. The gift card industry in general.
Interesting, even within their own company. Thank you all
Oh
for
yeah, yeah, yeah.
joining. Thank you all for joining. If you have any, if you'd like to ask any questions, this is open, so please request. Um, and so, what is your most popular service that you offer?
Which is that's a great question. My most popular service is surprisingly via revenue and just like um total number of orders is definitely going to be my ship to address. I would think starting out with Monero, we start off with the anonymous locker, and I just added the ship to address because people kept asking me about it. And honestly, I would say that lockers make up probably like 33%, and then the rest are going to be just ship to address orders, which is weird to think about that. But I've been thinking about that a lot recently. I think that just reflects that everyone wants privacy. Privacy isn't like this thing that only like darknet hackers use, something like that. The average guy down the street doesn't want to deal with Amazon's whatever they're doing. They just want to pay Monero, get their product, and go about their way. So I think that that's reflected at least in my numbers. So the most probably is definitely going to be like, I want this item, ship it to my address. Here you go. That's my most popular one.
And so let's see. So many questions I have. So you're a Monero only business. Do you think this limits your growth, or do you think it just makes your job easier?
I would say at this point, it definitely makes my life easier. It makes marketing easier. And then because Monero community, I mean, like they're amazing, dude. I'm sure you know. I mean, I met you at a Monero event, so yeah, like they're very kind, very understanding, very patient with me. And then I think the Monero is just like a perfect cryptocurrency for this. It's cheap, it's relatively quick. 2 minutes if you're sitting at home is not a big issue. I'm watching like One Piece. I'll process an order, and then like I'll wait like 2 minutes and it's ready to go. So it's very relaxing at that point. I don't have to worry about like random fees like Bitcoin becoming unusable. I can give refunds up, which means I can give refunds, correct? Because someone's coming to me like they'll place an order for a thing and I'll be like, oh, that didn't work out, and it cost me 2 cents to refund them. If I use Bitcoin, it would cost me like $8 to refund them, which would definitely affect like how I design my service and make it hard for people to try out. So at this point, I definitely think being Monero only is great for me. Makes super easy. Infrastructure BTC Pay server is great for me so far. Yeah, so I really love Monero, but I can definitely see as I grow and get bigger, maybe I would have to maybe accept other cryptocurrencies, but I'm not looking forward to that. I'm hoping to say Monero only as long as it makes financial sense.
So you mentioned using BTC Pacer. How's that going?
Oh yeah, it's relatively. It's I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a pain to set up, but there was a great guy by Self for Privacy. I'm sure you know him. He has that on his website about it. Took me like a day, and I'm okay with like Linux and stuff like that. It took me like a day to get comfortable getting the keys, and now it's only cost me like DigitalOcean, I think like $18 a month. Before I was using Now Payment, and they took like shoot, it was relatively small. Was it 3% or something like that? Now Payment,
I'm
but yeah,
using them. Yeah. It's
what is it right
maybe
now?
less than that. But
Yeah.
yeah, but they're forwarding the so if someone pays, is that going in? How does that work? Is it is it forwarding it to a different wallet, or is that directly the wallet? Because with Now Payments, it's I'm sending it to their wallet, but they're forwarding it to me before the
Yeah,
transaction's complete.
that's how it worked when I was there too. Right now, BTC Pay server, you actually go through this whole process of putting your view key on the server. So it's actually giving out, it goes directly to my wallet and it's giving out addresses that go directly to my wallet in that case. And it only makes sense, you do the math on it. If it's like, let's say it's 1%, it doesn't make sense to do it if you're moving $1,000 a month. But in my level, I'm moving more than that. So that math sort of works out. It makes it super convenient. But when I first started out, I was definitely using now payments just because I wasn't doing that much volume, and it just made financial sense.
And are you pointing to a node that you own, or is that a remote one?
Oh yeah, BTC Pay server, setting it up, at least the way Self for Privacy has it set up, it actually runs its own pruned node. I think it's like I want to say like right now it's 80 gigabytes. Let me pull up my DigitalOcean so I'm not giving you wrong information. But I think it's like 80 kilobytes and oh sorry, 80 gigabytes, and it has its own node on there. And I use Cake Wallet to manage my funds, so I support it to my own node I run at home also. But the BTC Pay server, the way itself does it, it sets up its own node there. And I pulled up my DigitalOcean portal right now to give you if you have more questions about it.
Just yeah. I mean, so how much total space do you think you need to be able to do this confidently?
Oh yeah, I just recently upgraded my like droplet, so I can give you exact sizes in one moment. Sorry, it's been a bit slow. My project right now, currently, my disk size is at 60% utilization. I'm running it on a what are the facts here? 120 gigabyte disk. And my last bill, what was my last bill? I'm pulling it up right now. Sorry, my account. I want to say my bill wasn't that much. I don't think it couldn't have been like more than 20. Um, sorry, but yeah, I don't want to hold the whole chat up. But yeah, it's something like $20. I think was my last bill. 120 gigabytes. Yes, my last bill was 21.71. Wait, yeah.
Okay, great. So regarding just Monero in general, like
Mm-hmm.
how much of your life would you say that you live in within the Monero circular economy?
Unfortunately, definitely not as much as optimal. I use Monero on things whenever possible, but just looking at the type of like volume that I do, looking it's not a lot. Like, I spend Cake Wallet and those gift cards when I can because they're really convenient. The prepaid cards I played around with, but like sheer volume, maybe like I probably spend like on Monero only things, maybe like 10 items a month, random things. But that's me, and that's really sad part I think about it. It's very hard to find things that I like actually use. I know like Monero Market is pretty new. I went on there looking for something to buy, and nothing really, stood out to me. I didn't really want anything on there. So right now, I think a lot of our purchases are debit card, Cake Wallet based, which is not optimal for the circular economy. But I think at this point, your directory is great for things like that. I scroll through that all the time. But yeah, I wish it could be more, but right now it's probably like 8 items on average a month.
Okay. And what is your opinion on Monero? Is it more of a medium of exchange or a store of value, or is it kind of both?
I think it could be both. I mean, I don't hold for transparency. I don't hold any Bitcoin. I just use it and hold Monero for all my stuff because I just what I'm used to, what I in the cryptocurrency I love and really enjoy. But I've heard arguments of people saying it's for just for spending, but I haven't heard a convincing argument that's it can't be used for saving also. It's a little harder than Bitcoin when you look at a technical level, but I think that privacy you get, your savings. At least I want my savings to be private, so for me, it's not a big deal. But self privacy also advocates for spending Bitcoin. Sorry, saving Bitcoin, spending Monero. That's not for me, but I can see it being viable. For me, it's both. Sorry for the long answer.
Yeah, no problem. And yeah, anyone who's listening, if you would like to ask a question, just request. And so it's yeah, someone could use your site to buy everything on Amazon just using Monero, which is incredible. But what types of items do you specifically recommend people to use your service for if they're already kind of using Amazon and they want some privacy? Just I mean,
Well,
literally everything, but obviously, maybe are there certain things you would say people should maybe think twice about?
like I said, when I do my services for the locker, I make sure that. Oh, well, not make sure, but only Amazon can ship. So I'll be very wary of third party vendors. I've heard some sketchy things for them. People getting kind of messy returns. But I've processed over hundreds of orders. I haven't had any issues with like a specific item or anything like that. But it's usually we can work it out with the customer service. So I think I had one issue where someone bought a prepaid phone card that wasn't activated, and unfortunately we had to work it out with Amazon, the seller or the purchaser on that one. But by volume, I would say most of my stuff's electronics. To be honest with you, people seem to really like buying computers, hardware wallets, mixing boards, random stuff. I would say probably like 60% is gonna be electronics, And surprisingly, only 20% is like sex toys. To be honest with you, we're all adults, right? I can, right? This is
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
No, I listened to the Shop and Bit
yeah,
interview
yeah.
guy, and he was saying the majority, I think, or something of the sales are adult. So it's
Oh,
interesting.
interesting. For
That's so few
yeah,
percentage actually.
yeah. For me, it's very small. I might get something, once a week, twice a week, but not, definitely by item size and definitely revenue, right? Because usually sex toys are on the lower end, electronics be on the higher end. So revenue definitely going to be from electronics. But like I might get like one or two orders a month. Someone's trying to try it out, which is pretty cool. I imagine you want to get like something, you know, a 21 plus, you get it anonymously, no nothing tied to you. Must feel pretty cool and be enjoyable. But yeah, not majority's gonna be electronics on my end.
I mean, yeah, Amazon just has everything. I mean, I had an
Yeah,
apartment at one point, and I looked around. I'm like, I literally got everything here.
yeah. Amazon's gonna
Even
control the world one day.
I mean, like it even so. So, like for example, even just like taking some picture, some photo, and I wanted to blow it up, and like I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, the Amazon allows me to do that. Is that something
Oh
that you can
wow.
purchase through your service, or does it have
Yeah,
to have a
yeah.
SKU?
No, I do custom orders all the time. It'll probably be on the 15% end because it's a lot more involved than doing like a 10% locker order. But I've done custom orders before already. Like I want this thing. Tell the seller I want this, and they send it to me. I just type the address in. Amazon's pretty straightforward. I haven't done photos specifically, but definitely like other custom items I've ordered via places. They've been like, I want this engraved from this seller. They give me the information. I engrave it and send it to. I engrave it, but I pass it along to them. So yeah, that's definitely something I could do. That's really cool though.
That's interesting. Okay, so someone could send you sort of a custom request for something that's a
Hmm.
little bit more laborious.
Yeah, that's gonna be on the 15%. I do the type of stuff. I bought like game tickets. People want gold. Let me think. Just like odd kind of custom stuff that people like. Yeah, I act as a middleman between those type of services.
Do you sell or can the receiver be anywhere in the world or only United States?
Yeah, they can be anywhere that legally, um, they can be. Cause I know I can't ship to certain places in the world. I've run into that issue before. Also, certain things like I've ordered certain like what's the word? Like gun related things you can't ship out of America. Like there's like certain like controlled things you can't ship out of America to foreign countries. But outside of the legal restrictions, I've done a lot of Europe. A lot of Europeans, or I guess a lot of things in the UK, European people use the service also. I guess given how Monero's cracked down over there, must be pretty easy. I've shipped across, yeah, all kinds of places.
So if it's a foreign, like, because there's like different versions of Amazon. There's like
Hmm.
the German one or whatever. Like, do you would if someone was in Germany and using your service, would you purchase through the German Amazon or would you have to purchase through the United States Amazon and ship it to Germany?
I've done both, but if it's for the Amazon locker, my understanding and my experience, it can only be within the state. Or sorry, within the country. Like if you're in Germany, you want to order something from and have it shipped to an Amazon locker, it can only be within Europe. I think is a limitation on that. But I have shipped items from America, US, to someone in Germany because they were only available on the American Amazon site. And the really cool thing is that your login works for both of those sites, so your reputation also carries with you also. So I don't have to age new accounts for like Japan Amazon or Europe Amazon. I just use like a pool of aged accounts and then purchase it from there.
So, regarding your usage of the site, and I don't know if you know or not, just do you think more people use your site on mobile or desktop, or does it really matter?
I honestly don't know if I track that. I've designed it to be pretty good. It's pretty basic, so I think it works on mobile. But I would imagine most people do it on desktop because it's just I do at least for me I do most of my spending on my desktop. I do most of my browsing on phone, but most of my spending is on desktop. So I assume my customers have the same type of modeling. I can pull up. Let me see. I don't think I have access to that information, unfortunately.
That's fine. Just curious, like to understand more about. It's a mobile accessible site.
Oh yeah, I
You
actually
can
have
use it
my
that way. Okay.
yeah, I actually have the data for visits. 'Cause I use plausible.io. They're like this privacy preserving tracking. They don't like do any like They don't resell your data. They just show you someone hit your server. They're using a mobile phone. So I'm looking at 53% mobile and then 45% desktop. And also, this is, I believe at one point I made this public on my blog so anyone can see the traffic also. And I don't know, I'm not used to Twitter. Can you drop links? But I can send you that link later so you can actually get a look at it for yourself too.
Okay, great. And then so how do you recommend people use your service? Is it that you prefer the locker, or or that you prefer the address, or is it just you have any recommendation?
No, for me, I have people, use both. As a privacy person, I love the idea of a locker, so I definitely try it out. But it is a bit inconvenient, right? Because you have to check for the order to get there. You have to go to a physical location, pick it up, and then so address can be a little bit more convenient. But I would definitely recommend people at least try out the locker because it's really cool idea. Just walk into a locker, put a code in, and get what you need without. And it's about as anonymous as spending cash in a store. Nothing's gonna be truly anonymous, but it's about as anonymous you can get to that really to cash in a store. So I recommend that, but a lot of people use their dress orders, like I said, and they're super convenient also. It gets sent to your house. It's not the most private, but it is more private than other options in the shopping space, e-commerce space.
And Anon Industries is bigger than just Anon Shop, to my understanding. Can you
Mm-hmm.
explain what else you offer?
Oh yes. We currently offer Phantom Phone, which is a you log in and you can rent a phone without actually having a prepaid phone. We offer that. I'm still getting numbers for that right now. I'm currently working on a brand new product that isn't out yet, but it's going to allow people to get discounts on Amazon and shop peer to peer. And it uses zero knowledge proofs to verify all the information so you can sort of cut down on fraud and scams. And then I'm also playing around with hardware ideas. Hardware is very hard though, extremely difficult. So if you're doing hardware, big ups to you. But I'm currently playing around with some type of, like Anon Hub, random hardware stuff. But those are the type of things that I meddle in right now.
And so there are other proxy sites on Monerica. Do you have
Mm-hmm.
any opinions on them, or have they influenced you to do anything?
Oh yeah, as far as I think Monazon, am I saying it right? They're relatively new. They seem like a cool service. I haven't used their service, so I don't have any like informed opinions on it. People seem to like it. I know they got a shout out from Fluffy Pony, which must be good for numbers. My biggest influence is going to be Purse.io, though. They're not really Monero specific, but they were the biggest person doing peer to peer shopping. Like, what was that like? From like what 2014? They shut down like a year ago. So they're my biggest personal influence, especially influencing my other ongoing projects.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I did actually meet them.
Oh, what?
I used to live in San Francisco, and I met them back when they started. And I used to use them because their whole model, the whole thing was like you get a discount, right?
Uh huh.
And that was like, I'm like, how can that be hard for people to grasp? But
Oh
yeah, I wish I would
wow.
have just kept all that Bitcoin. But
We all have those regrets, man. We all
but
have those regrets.
it's not like who knows the immediate side. And honestly, it was trying to integrate Bitcoin payments and the fees and the
Mm-hmm.
complexity that made me not believe it, ironically. So
No.
sometimes you know too much, it doesn't make you understand what most people are never willing to learn. But um, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's. Did they get acquired, or they just shut down? Like, I mean, they were running for a while.
Yeah, my understanding is even it's really sad, dude. Like if you go to purse.io.com, someone acquired them and sold the
Or it's
URL.
just
So
sorry,
the
it's
the
just
whole website.
Purse.io, right?
Yeah, purse.io, sorry. Like the website, if you go to the website right now, someone which really sucks is there's so much history and so much like you can learn and build from that website that's just gone now. And it's like I don't know what the new company does, but they're not anything like purse.io. So I don't know if it was like a revenue issue, but people use them a lot. I don't know. I know they were a startup, so maybe they didn't grow fast enough to be, attractive. But no one's come out and said we shut down because of X reasons. It's just been like, oh, we shut down because of difficulties dealing with Amazon, et cetera, et cetera. But as far as I know, no one really knows. It's really sad to see, unfortunately.
Yeah, I remember when they started and they had like more. uh, usage of the Amazon
Mm-hmm.
logo and stuff, and how they
Mm-hmm.
had to stop doing that and just say it in text for legal reasons.
Yeah, but their team's great. I know they had when I built a multi-signature Bitcoin wallet, and I actually used their they had a Bitcoin node implementation in JavaScript node, so it was really nice. I got to talk to the devs there on the GitHub. They're really great people. It's sad to see Persile go, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were just Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, right?
Yeah, yeah, they were just Bitcoin Cash. They got I think Roger Ver was an investor at some point, so I think they adopted Bitcoin Cash, which there's so much beef around that. I don't really get it, but I'm me. But there's a lot of beef around Bitcoin Cash. People like they fell because of Bitcoin Cash. Like it's, but yeah.
Yeah, Bitcoin's just clunky to send, and I think obviously it's big, and
hmm
I think it's good to work with people that have money.
hmm
So I
Yeah.
think whatever narrative suits them, you know, they want to use something to go into Monero. Like, fine. Like, I'm not. Just don't. I don't think it's worth trying to fight that battle. Like, they've
Yeah. Yeah.
invested their life savings in Bitcoin. Like, who am I to tell them that they shouldn't? Like, it's just hard to win that. It's just hard to win that debate. I think
Yeah. Yeah.
it's challenging, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's great to see that there are businesses that are Monero only, because I think they
hmm
focus on the core value proposition.
Yeah. I
And
have a question
yeah,
for you, actually.
oh, go
Oh,
ahead. Yeah.
yeah. I've been watching. I mean, like since we met, I've been hearing about it, even before then. Like, do you get a lot? Like, look at the website. There's a lot of listings. How much time do you spend? Like, how do you verify listing is legitimate? I know some have green check marks. Like, can you walk me through your process? I know there's a lot that goes into Monerica.
Right. So it was a little more laborious with GitHub, but everything is about reducing friction and scale,
hmm
because that's just, programmers, everything is, what can I do with less? But so it was a little more obvious, like, who it was and whatever. But even making it a change in an HTML file is something people can mess up, because whatever, it's just
Yeah.
it's GitHub, and GitHub isn't, it's not designed for
Yeah.
people that are living a very simplified world. But
Yeah.
so that was the process. There were pull requests, and then I said, even that's hard. Just make an issue. Just make an issue. Say what you want. I get it. You got to merge it, and what if you changed it, and who knows? And then that was another way. And then I was like, I just started using ChatGPT like all the time, and I'm like, well, why don't I just make a whole
Mm.
application with? Why don't I just turn this application? I hate manually doing anything. So I wrote everything. I wrote it all. I just said, make this page, make that page, make this code, make that code, and stitch it all together. So, and I actually wanted to, make it easier, but also make it even more anonymous. So that is where someone just goes and they can submit a link, and all the fields
hmm
are filled out, instead of me expecting them to follow some arbitrary format that I made. It's just text boxes, right? So then they submit it, and then I go to the site manually, and I have to find to see if it accepts Monero somewhere. And you can say you can say that people shouldn't do this or that or whatever. But most people
hmm
most people follow rules. Most people understand that if it doesn't say Monero somewhere, then it's because the the whole thing was, yeah, there was these crypto sites where you say, um you set Monero, cool, like some barbershop in Missouri. Like, well, no, you don't. Like,
Yeah, that
where do
makes
you
sense.
say that you accept that? It has to be there has to be a two-way. It has to be a handshake, right? There has to be.
Yeah.
You say that you do, not through a third party, but directly. You have to either
hmm
have it on the checkout page, or you have to say in your FAQ or something, right?
hmm
Otherwise, it's like I'm not vouching for anybody. Like they have to vouch for themselves. I'm just pointing them, and so that's how I verify it. I see that there's a way to check out, or I see there's a clear indication in text, and it has to be manual. Unfortunately, I mean, yeah, maybe if it was text, I could write a little script to go and kind of crawl the page and do it, but I'm not flooded with requests to the point that that's unfeasible to do.
Hmm.
Um,
At least yet. At least yet. I feel like you're gonna
I don't
get a
know.
lot
Yeah, I don't
more
know.
growth.
I mean,
Yeah.
I welcome problems. I mean, I'm not trying to stop
Yeah.
them. I'm saying it's a good, there are good problems to have, and good problems to have are me being excited to see that there's more submission. There are more submissions, and as far as the verifications go, I've added a way for people to submit messages that are just for me to see, and
Hmm.
ideally, people can cross reference with something else, especially if it's like a scam or something. Like if it's like ideally there's Reddit or Monero Town or Twitter message that they can say that any kind of order information that they can use to prove that they do that. Um, then that's how I do it, or I just personally try to
Hmm.
use it myself.
Yeah, there's a lot of green check marks. Green check mark means you've used it personally, right?
Not necessarily,
Oh, okay.
but a lot of times, yes. I mean, that's just the way it works. Like sometimes I just have
Yeah.
to do it. I mean, I'm not gonna go and buy it and do everything, but I
Yeah,
mean,
you
if I
would.
if I had enough, I don't know. There's a lot to be discussed in terms of that. I mean, I'm happy to hear what you or anyone on this call thinks is a good way to further build trust, because despite whatever anonymity there is, you have to have some. I mean, actually you need more trust when you have less. When there's more
Yeah.
anonymity, you need more trust.
Yeah, yeah. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, man, you do great work here. It's really. I also knew you were talking about an affiliate program at some point. Is that?
I
What are your thoughts
think
around that? Yeah.
so. I mean, I like first party affiliate links.
Hmm.
I mean, I make my living off affiliate marketing. So, and I've always worked in marketing, and I've dealt with and seen that side of everything, programming and marketing. So, affiliate marketing is not going anywhere, and obviously paying for ads and display is valuable, but I have no real way to know how anything is performing or clicks, and there's so much click fraud and there's so much whatever, so it's all just pointless.
Hmm.
So, performance based marketing is the right way to do that. Now that requires cookies to work, so there has to be a cookie that's on that. You don't have to have JavaScript. You can just do it with cookies alone. So
Hmm.
that's a way. But yeah, I mean, I did first party cookies from the sites themselves are ideal. It can be a bit. I haven't looked at how to do that. I did build an affiliate network from scratch once.
Oh my God.
Um, that was some work. But the thing is, I think, yeah, I mean, with a network, you have either like an affiliate program where it's like directly from the site, or you have an affiliate like network. And the network
Hmm.
would just be like, Monero affiliates or something. And then you'd go and you make an account there, and then there'd be like everything you could possibly make any kind of commission on, that would be there, and there's different categories or whatever, and then from there you go and you find the links, and then you could
Hmm.
potentially use some kind of site builder to do deep linking to different product pages on a site, and then that, because affiliates always loved. I mean, I used to work for one of the biggest affiliate networks in the United States, and I asked the affiliate managers about like crypto way back then, and they were like, the affiliates, they love it. They want to be paid in Bitcoin, and I'm like, wow, it's interesting.
Hmm.
They wanted, like, because it's like so you gotta have to wait for the sales to go through, and you got to confirm things. So I think there's just a lot of efficiencies and economies of scale, and I feel like just helping businesses succeed by sharing their links to their products and services. And there are Monero affiliate
Hmm.
programs. There's one that I just signed up for from a VPN company that was interesting. You didn't even need an account. which is fascinating.
Interesting. Okay, I've seen that type of stuff like Movad. You have like a little code that you get. You don't need an account. This sort
Right.
of inspired what I did. That's really interesting.
So there's
Interesting.
innovation to be had, and I think with regards to like advertising on Monerica, like, well, you don't need an account. I don't actually know who definitively is the sponsoring the link. The whole
Yeah, yeah.
methodology is just, well, if it's in the directory, anybody can bump it. If it's their personal project or it's their business, like whatever, like I don't care. Like money is money. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
have. I don't need a KYC what someone who's giving me money. I don't care.
Yeah.
Um, that's just not important. So I think there are a lot of opportunities. I think there's always this allergic reaction of like marketing and advertising and privacy, but I think that's just not productive
Hmm.
because how do you grow a business? Just pure word of mouth. I mean, people are.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, what do you think it's better to run Google ads or Facebook ads than like
Yeah, good luck with
build an
that.
ad network for Monero? I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I think that's definitely one big thing. There are a lot of projects in the Monero space I'm sure you're aware of that get started, but they just lack the momentum and like the ability to get go. I don't know a lot of people know about them. And like, I know Doug has Monerotopia and Monero Talk, and he's really great at marketing, building a product, launching a product. But I think that that's something that a lot of people lack in Monero space, And I think Monero can helps with that. Like, you don't have to be an expert in marketing; just buy an ad on Monero. It definitely gives you a big bump. So I definitely appreciate that. I think we need more, like, I guess, ethical advertising. People with integrity advertising services that are good, not scammy. Just like, hey, here's the advertising, here's a link, use it if you like it. I like it. That type of stuff could definitely be used more in the space to get, because everyone wins, right? As long as you're honest and you have integrity about it, everyone wins. Business wins, you wins. The customer finds a great product for someone that loves Monero and sets Monero. It's win all around. So yeah, definitely wish we had more of that.
yeah, I mean, he has a channel, and they can.
Yeah,
That's a form of advertising, but
yeah,
it's like what is your core competency as a business? Like it's doing your business. It's
yeah,
not
yeah,
advertising, so that needs to be
yeah,
outsourced to somebody else. And like that's where I'm at, is trying to help businesses get
yeah,
more customers. And I think there's a lot of opportunity, and I just feel like there's a lot more opportunity than people think. And I just, obviously the prices, fluctuate and this and that, and it's just a never ending like circle, chasing, tail kind of thing. Like it's not going to change. Like, can you be successful with the volatility of Monero or not? If you can't, then get out.
yeah.
Like as soon as I'm paid, like I'm gonna spend it immediately.
Yeah, that
Like
makes
I'm
perfect
not.
sense. Your service is great.
It has to be used. Like I don't know. Some people say, "Oh, it's a hot potato." Like, yeah, well, it's still a potato. Like,
Yeah,
still
yeah.
eat it.
People eat potatoes. Yeah.
I mean, what do you want me to say? Like, if I get
and
paid,
then
like
and
I
then
could
for
go
the
buy a gift card. I could go buy coffee. Or like, I could
and
go
before
buy.
all this Binance stuff happened, man, maybe I'm just missing something, but I swear the price was like between 150 and 160 for legitimately like 5 months. I remember checking the price has been like up 155. Yep, next day 158. Hopefully after all this Binance or whatever's happening with them, I'm not a day trader. Whatever happens with the pricing, I don't care what the price is. I just would like for it to personally more stabilize. That would be just nicer, easier. But if it is what it is, though, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's stability. I can't. It's just like I hate to think about things I can't control. And if
Yeah, that makes
some
perfect sense.
some Bitcoin fat cat wants to get in and pump it and dump it, like go ahead. Like I don't want to think about that. Like that just stresses
Yeah,
me out and like takes away from everything. And like, okay, there are stable coins. Like what else do you want to say? Like there's an atomic swap with Ethereum. Like isn't that good enough?
Mm, mm. Yeah. Oh, I thought there was a market there also. There's so much opportunity in this space, man. So much opportunity.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Yeah, no, I appreciate you joining. I think, and like, yeah, we'll go another few minutes. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask or request speakership. But I just feel like we're moving in such a choppy waters in so many ways that
Hmm.
giving people the ability to feel more confident in themselves with creating their own business as a one person. With, I mean, what did Sam Altman say? Like, there's going to be like $1 billion one person company. It's like, I don't know when or how or what they'll do, but like I get it. I mean, I built all of Monerica in like
Hmm.
the whole code base in like 2 days, just with what it took me 2 months if I typed character by character instead of just saying it's like having a junior programmer under you, right? I mean, like
Yeah, yeah.
you can solve so many more problems with the technology that's available, and like yeah, go and get an LLC and file your taxes and everything. You know, I'm not obviously that's what you should do, but at the same time, like get started like today.
Yeah, just get started. Yeah.
Like you
And,
could
and
do
if
so
you
many
do a
things.
personal, yeah, if you do like this is America. I'm not a lawyer, but in my experience, if you start an LLC and you do it like a sole proprietor, you don't even owe taxes until like the next calendar year. It's not like you have to pay taxes and have everything figured out the day you do it. Getting started is such a big deal. And also, sorry to keep plugging your service. I think I like your
No, no,
service is
no,
that
no,
anyone,
dude,
yeah,
no, no. I thank you so much. I mean,
like anyone
what
can.
can I
Oh,
do? What can I do to make it better?
dude, I mean, it's great. Like I know. I mean, it's a good problem to have, but there's only 5 slots. But that's a good problem to have. Because like, if this guy, I want to get sponsored, I want to sponsor a YouTuber. I got to go call. I got to email the YouTuber, negotiate a track, do a contract, do all this stuff. With your service, I just send you Monero and I'm there. Like it's the 0 to 1 is so much easier. You could. On my first trial out, I got like I remember. I think you had like a option for like 7 days. I think about a month. Saw the big boom in it, and I was like, all right, I'm all in, and went and like bought like whatever, like the maximum. I think I got the max. Like I'm gonna renew this. This is easy money. So yeah, no, it's
Oh, that's
like
great.
if
And
I
you got another
but
four
like
months, I think.
yeah, no, it's great. Like if you were a small, I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't be giving my competitors advice, but like if you're a small business, like I don't care what you're doing, like the value you're gonna get from Onerica is amazing. It's a no brainer. If you're a small guy just trying to get started, just build a product, put it up here, and see if it sells. Like you're risking was it like at most two? I think I got $200 for like 4 months, 5 months. It was like dude, just take the shot, get started, build something. You have so much service. I think from your directory alone, you have a lawyer, I believe here. You have tax accountants. Like you could literally start a business just from the directory, build it on Monerica, and launch it on Monerica and see if it gets traction. Just for the business in Monerica, which is like amazing. Like it's just like I don't think you do anything better, honestly. Like I think it's great. I think it's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I want to be able to bootstrap people to just
Yeah.
take an idea and take it to market, and I think that's the bigger plan eventually. I guess is to make that process easier. But
Oh,
I
okay,
mean,
okay.
the bigger plan is just pour gas on the fire everywhere.
Yeah.
Just and you've already identified even just a few minutes ago an opportunity. You want someone that you can communicate with to help you potentially make YouTube content to promote your business. That it could be an intermediary that's a kind of a
Yeah.
Monero broker. I mean that yeah, that's it's like the alpha's getting dropped or whatever they want to say. Like there's opportunities, and like the last thing that is on my mind is like where the price is headed or what the next
Yeah,
conspiracy
yeah.
theory is. Like I don't care. Like
Yeah.
it's
I
just
think it
always
makes
going to
sense,
be
man.
on the top.
Yeah.
That's always going to be a problem. Like who cares? Like
Yeah, you're so focused, and like it makes sense that you don't care. I mean, like I'm looking at it right now. It's amazing. The newsletter is already here. Contacts here, Twitter, GitHub. It's amazing.
and
Yeah,
honestly,
that'd be a really cool service.
I've
Yeah.
given it all away. If you want to go and make other directories for other crypto, like I mean, what do you? It's already there. Change a few parameters, go deploy it. It's like I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I had this idea. I don't tell me you're the expert. Might be bad. I know that you didn't want to flood it, and there's only 5 slots. Have you considered doing a sponsored listing for each section? Maybe.
That's a
Maybe I don't
good
know. I don't know.
question. It's a good
Maybe I
idea.
don't know.
I don't want to dilute the value, and it's a market
Yeah.
discovery process. So
Hmm.
I don't. So and it's a tricky game, but it's one where I'm not. There's no JavaScript on the site. There's no cookies
Hmm.
required to use it. So I actually have no idea what people are clicking on, and I have no real metrics into
Ah,
that, and that's by design.
that makes sense.
So
That makes sense.
because I because in a world where everyone's like swapping their IPs all the time, like it's all just click fraud everywhere. Like how can I even trust any of that? So the only thing that matters
Mm.
to me is affiliate, right? Because that you can't really fraud that because it's that's just the way it's designed. So I'm trying to think in a different way. Having an advertising background, trying to think
Mm-hmm.
about how do you have a privacy, and then I don't have to. There's already DuckDuckGo ads. I mean, how do they make money? Because they just do what Google did from day one. They they don't do personal ads. They just do keyword ads.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So if you're
Oh,
searching
cool.
for you know, cosmetic surgeon in Miami, then that's pretty high ticket item, and they don't have to personalize it. That's a good enough intent. That's a good enough intent based
Oh, I
query.
got you. I got you. Well, I'm definitely gonna try to start an affiliate program very soon. 'Cause you definitely convinced me. Seeing you talk about it, was it on Twitter that I saw it? Was that on? Yeah, I think you were
Um,
talking on. Was that on? Where was
yeah,
that
I
at?
mean, I say random stuff all the time, but I think that's where I see the most potential for
Yeah.
everyone is to just because always focus on people's kind of like self interest and what's good for them, and like um if you can help people get paid to give you free advertising effectively, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
why would you not? You don't have to pay them a cent unless they get a sale that you can attribute to them.
Yeah, and that's also one thing. I know you mentioned other people on your website. I was really surprised by was it Monazon? I think something about the idea of being able to earn money. I mean, the amount of shares they were getting on Twitter is crazy for a new business. Like they're for like 500 followers. I think they got a fluffy pony shout out. Like just once you can tap into people's like self interest, it makes everything so much easier. It makes so much more sense also.
So
So
it
I'm
kind of
definitely trying
reminded
to
me of
get
Purse.io, actually, what you're
yeah,
doing.
yeah, yeah. So I'm definitely super excited about that. Just soaking all the alpha you're giving, man. Soaking up all the game, trying to get better every day, building better products, talking more about the products, becoming a better marketer. It's definitely takes a lot to put out. I love the way you tweet. I follow you and your I don't know personal account. I don't know if that's public, but yeah, I love your tweets, stuff you put out. It's free game, man. Hopefully people are listening. Hopefully people are learning and trying to build stuff. Hopefully.
Yeah, it takes time, and what inspires people is other people's success. And I can say
Yeah.
whatever I want and talk about whatever I want, and the price should be $1 billion because there's $10 jillion offshore oil banker. No, who cares? Like that's all pointless speculation. Like do something. Like help people solve problems. Like I like that there's competition. I think that
yeah.
benefits everybody, and it proves there's a market. And with there this is the creation of a new market. I think the era of
Hmm.
pure price speculation with crypto is over. I think we're in the era of, well, are you going to use it for being able to be your own bank and start your own business and be
Yeah.
your own boss, or are you still going to play in the like crazy altcoin, meme jungle? Like, yeah, sure, do
Yeah.
whatever you want. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just saying, like, I feel like the big opportunity now is there are established projects and real technologies.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're what Bitcoin came out like 2009. We're like almost 15 years in. We got to start like
Exactly,
actually
exactly.
being using it, not just speculating on it.
And so, yeah, it's been an hour, and I don't think anyone else has wanted to request speakership. So, are there any final thoughts or anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I have one more question for you. Sorry, I know I've been asking. Where do you see the future of Monero? I mean, that's a big question. Sorry to save it to the end, but like, where do you? I'm so interested in how your project. What do you? I know you're working on the newsletter, the email list, maybe more affiliate marketing. Do you have any other thing that you're excited to talk about? Looking forward to with Monerica?
Um, that's it right now. I think that's hard enough. It's like you can go deep or you can go like wide, right? Like I could go and make
Mm-hmm.
another crypto directory for every 10,000 cryptos, but like,
Oof. Yeah.
or I can just go deeper into each individual company, right? And like I kind of don't. It takes so long to build a brand or build a name, and I mean, when Erica, yeah, maybe I kind of just didn't really, whatever for the first year, I didn't really do so much, but it takes a long time, and like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and with regards to searching and traffic and business, like, someone searches for Monerica, I'm number one result. You know, like
Hmm.
that's the brand. Like that I play with SEO and all that. Well, like trying to go for crazy long tail terms or profitable terms, like it's always like a battle. When you have a brand, like you win. You can't they can't really take that from you.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm trying to do is just kind of focus more on what I have and making what I have better. And always happy to hear that it's making an impact. And maybe I'll have to raise the prices, but that will hopefully be with the ability to reach more people or
Hmm.
something. I mean, getting more people like the Twitter. Hopefully, I can get the email subscriber list to be big enough to do that. And yeah, I mean that's just keep trying to sharpen the blades that I have.
Hmm. That makes perfect sense. Like as the number one consumer of the product, I think it's great. I wish you if you raise prices, I'll be there bidding on the price, and
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's great value. Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
it's great value.
there's so many different things to chase down, and
Yeah.
I just want to dominate what I have as the directory, right? Like and
Hmm.
it's not like I was the first person. Like I didn't invent this concept. There were other Monero directories, like so it's like but it takes time to manage it and do it right. Like
Yeah.
um, and like the way that they do it is different. So, and sure, go and make another Monero directory. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Keep me on my toes. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, long-winded answer. Just saying, just trying to do what I'm doing better.
Yeah. I mean, you're executing great, man. If you need anything from me, let me know. If I'm definitely gonna work on affiliate marketing. I'll definitely hit you up once I have it working. Hopefully, I know if you like the service, you can be one of the first people to give me feedback on it, given your extensive experience with marketing and whatnot. I would love some feedback.
No, great. Yeah, I'm curious how you would approach that, and I think that's a great way to get more people to talk about what you have to offer
Yeah.
without any real cost to you.
Yeah, I think I just sort of copying what Shopping Bit does, giving like, type in America, partner America, you'll get 10% off, then you get a kickback also. That's my basic idea. I haven't done a lot of it, but we'll see how it goes. That's probably the most basic idea I'll start off with.
Yeah, I mean, it all helps, and yeah, just making more ways for people to because how can you get Monero? Like, well, you don't need. Ideally, you don't even need a bank account. You just go share links and help people drive sales, and then they have
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Monero, and then they can use it to go and buy something from your site, or they can go and fuel or do something else. Right? That's the better way. Enabling people to earn Monero, I guess, without any kind of just doing real work. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I don't want to hold you up, man. I know you're very busy. The crowd's very busy. So, um, is there anything
Oh
else
no, I
you
just want to
have
keep it
for me? Yeah.
engaging and make it valuable for everybody
Yeah,
who will listen to
you
this
already
later.
Yeah, you're gonna yeah, I'm super excited, man. Thank you so much for having me on. Great service. You know, once again, as the biggest user of your service, I wish you all the best luck. Once the prices go up, and I'm sure they will go up because the value you bring is definitely underpriced right now. I think undervalued right now. So I'll be there bidding, man, supporting you anywhere, any way I can.
Awesome, thank you so much. And this is our number one advertiser, Anon Shop, and that's ANONSHOP.app. And go to the
Hmm.
website. And last thing, join if you have not already. Join the Monerica newsletter. Just subscribe to it at monerica.com/newsletter. And thanks to everyone for listening. This is the Voices of the Monero Economy.